we started asking all of our friends, so to speak, in the community bands to say, hey, do you want to play this benefit show at Soundcheck? And everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. And so by the end of it, we had, we could have had a festival. There were so many bands that wanted to play.
Okay, Scotty K. I'm excited to have you in.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
You reached out last week and were asking some questions. I said, well, why don't we just come in and record a podcast, and that way you can figure it all out.
Yeah, well, I think the ultimate goal is to, be part of the wave of the future, which is podcast. I feel like so many people are putting out their message via podcast, and it's a way to get a good message out and invite different people on. And as I can see from your wall over there, I'm gonna be a person that's gonna be on your wall of all of your guests here at the Frame Center.
Yep,
so.
And you got a mug.
I got a mug.
Yeah.
Hey, I made it.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of doing the podcast for? Is it for the Autism Rocks?
Yeah. So, one of the things that we really do at Autism Rocks is everything centered around music. Mm-hmm. And, just in these personal relationships with people, the idea is really to have, an interview session like this, maybe 2 or 3 people, and then musicians come in and have their guitars. But it's all about like how these people have been affected by autism. So we have a good friend of mine, Ray Toole. His son Mike Toole is on the spectrum. Ray's like an amazing artist from here in the South Shore. Mm-hmm. And him and I talked about an idea of him coming in with his guitar. We talk about his son, talk about my son. Yep. And then play a couple songs together. Yeah. How it's meaningful to either autism or to Ray. And then, stop and then talk some more and really get some engagement through music that way. Mm-hmm. As well as also having some people that are on the spectrum as well come in and play some music too. So
I think that's great. I mean, I think anytime you can cross over like the two worlds, it's like a co thing. I mean, someone might tune in because they have heard of you as a musician or some of your guests as a musician, and then they to catch that, they got to learn a little bit about autism if they're not affected by it. Yeah, well, and then you have that whole world of people with autism or that are interested for that reason that are kind of like what you're doing with Autism Rocks are, because they're supporting autism, they're exposed to these musicians and to like cool music.
Yeah, there's so many people that are like you wouldn't even know that have somebody that's affected by autism. I mean, the stat is really 1 in 36 kids are being diagnosed. It's one of the largest developmental disabilities right now. And, you never know. You go to a show, you go out to a music venue, and the stories behind the actual musicians and the fans, you never know what's going on in someone's life. And so, for Autism Rocks, we really wanted to highlight a bunch of things, but one of the biggest is to bridge the gap between music and kids, adults on the spectrum. And so, our real mission is to have an inclusive sort of setting for kids and adults to go with their families to a rock show, a rock concert, have really good rock quality music, and allow the families to be together. A lot of times you go to a show, Dave. I'm sure you've been to plenty, but the music's too loud, the lights are really loud. Lights are really bright, and there's a lot of sensitivity issues that happen. Mm-hmm. Even like Levitate Festival, there's so much, there's so much action going around, and we try to take that not so much away, but we allow our guests to our shows to come and have a sort of setting where they can take a step back. Music's a little bit lower, and the lights aren't on as high. We also have a sensory area that we provide to our guests. If they need to take a break, go upstairs. Like at Levitate, when we did our last show at Levitate Backyard, we got the treehouse upstairs, and we shut all the doors and we used that as a sensory area. And that was manned by our friend Candace at Raising Hearts. Yep. And she, had Yogi Boo's up there and sensory toys, and So if you wanted to take a step back, you could go up there and
Yep.
take a break, so to speak. And
Yeah,
so
you don't have to leave the show.
yeah, our concerts are really family friendly, affordable, and we're getting such a great reception from what we're doing so far. So
That's awesome. Is that basically what Autism Rocks is doing? Is like putting on shows,
yeah,
or like tweaking shows so that they are more inclusive.
yeah. I mean, our mission really was so myself and Dylan O'Neill, who is the guitarist for the Aldous Collins band. He has a brother named Sean. He's 25,
Yep.
and I have a son Hayden. He's 18, and they're both on the autism spectrum. And so Dylan and I have always talked about how we can throw some sort of benefit show for autism, and donate a little bit of money and,
Yep.
and give it away, give it all away. And so this concept really was kicking around our brain for a while, and we approached Soundcheck Studios over here in Pembroke and said, hey, this is what we want to do. Do you want to donate your space? We want to have it on a Sunday afternoon during Autism Awareness Month. And so they were like, yeah, let's go for it. Bonnie and that team over there was awesome. So we started planning a show, myself, Dylan, and then we got Kate Huggins involved, who has event marketing planning, restaurant. Her family owns restaurants, and her brother also has special needs. And so we started asking all of our friends, so to speak, in the community bands to say, hey, do you want to play this benefit show at Soundcheck? And everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. And so by the end of it, we had, we could have had a festival. There were so many bands that wanted to play.
It just shows you how many people are affected or want to help.
Yeah, and so then we teamed up with the Arc of the South Shore, who the Autism Resource Center, and we said, all right, well, our concert is going to benefit you. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we said, well, how do we invite kids or adults from the autism community to come in and to actually perform at this event? So we got a friend from the Doug Flutie Foundation, King Camden the Great. He's from the Cape. He's a DJ, autistic DJ, like amazing EDM DJ. Mm-hmm. We also have Patrick Birmingham, who's another friend of ours from the Arc, and the Higashi Jazz Band. Yep. They came and they played to open the show, and it just blew people away to have these artists in sort of a feel good moment at Soundcheck, where I don't know if you've ever been before, but it's loud in there. Yep. It's bright. There's lights, and so we kind of turned things down, and we ended up raising $65,000 for them.
That's awesome.
But it all went right back to them. So we thought we got something here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So that you did that show before you actually started Autism Rocks, or
yeah. Well, we did the show. We kind of put the cart before the horse a little bit because we had the support from the ARC, Autism Resource Center, and we said we want to partner with you, and so we handled like all the creative aspect of it. We had all of the marketing, all of the imagery, the bands. So anything that was the creative side, the artwork. Yep. And they handled a lot of the fundraising portion of this. And so we worked together in that sense because we did bring in lots of donors and raffle items and things like that. But at the end of the day, they afforded us the opportunity to kind of learn how to throw a benefit show. Yep. And so then after that, we applied for our 501c3, became a legit business. That went through recently, and then we put on our second show, which was over in Levitate Backyard this summer, and that was just another over-the-top event. We had 25 musicians from all over the place, all over the South Shore, not just South Shore, but the country, come in. We sold out 350 tickets. We had all these vendors come in that were specifically autism related, and they were there to ask if you had a question. You can go up to them and say, "Hey, what I see you do ABA services.
What's ABA service?
What's that all about? Applied behavior analysis.
Okay.
It's like a form of therapy for someone that's on the autism spectrum." And so we kind of made it like a community event where we had all of these vendors, as well as the musicians playing, people there with their families. If you needed to take a break, you go to the sensory area. We partnered with Stellwagen. They made us a beer, Autism Rocks Pale Ale. Mm-hmm. We sold that at the event. It was just, our second event, we kind of blew it out the water.
Yep.
And so that's really our mission right now is to throw these shows and then take all the money we raise and give to organizations that are really supporting the kids with therapies and different services.
Yeah, it's cool. I think I saw like you posting the stuff for Levitating. I did, obviously I know Hayden's situation, so like I didn't even realize that it was your thing. I just and then I ran into you. You told me about it. You had some art. Did you have multiple artists down there doing work too, or was it just Rita?
One of the coolest things I think when I go to a show is the live art portion. Yeah. So one of things that has really taken off in the music community is having an artist in the corner next to the stage, and they're drawing or painting or doing some sort of medium when the artists are playing.
Yeah. It's
just cool how that all comes together and the interpretation of the artist that's actually doing the painting. And so, my mother-in-law, Erica Berkowitz, who has been on your show.
Yep.
I asked her, I told her what we were doing, and she was all in. And she made this beautiful. I don't know if you know, but at Levitate backyard, they have this tree, mm-hmm. and the tree is like in the middle of basically in the middle of the area, the viewing area.
Yep.
I call it like the sacred tree. I don't know if there's an official name, but if you're up on a treehouse, you got to kind of peek around the branches. But it's a cool concept that you're kind of in nature and in Marshfield, and with the concert going around you. And so Rita was on the side of the stage, and she drew. I said to her, I was like, I just want you to draw that tree.
Yeah.
Take out your watercolors or whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. And
she must have done pastels, right?
I think she did. I mean, I can bring it in and show you, but she did this phenomenal job of this tree, and I have it hanging in my house because we thought we were gonna raffle it off for a donation, but I just thought it's too important to me to get rid of. So
next time.
Yeah, next time. And I mean, and she had the greatest time there too. Everybody that went to the show was just a feel good moment. You're there with your families. You're there with, and a lot of times these parents, they can't take their kids to places like this.
Yep.
It's just overwhelming. It's just so overwhelming to have a person that's on the spectrum, whether it's a child or an adult, and to go into the grocery store, mm-hmm. To go anywhere. And so we created a safe space. We created a space where everybody was non-judgmental. It was welcoming. And it was affordable. I mean, we weren't really looking to break the bank on this show. Yep. Our motto is that we're going to shake a hand somewhere, and someone's going to like our concept, and they're going to give us a donation. And so we make things affordable. Tickets are really affordable, especially in today's day and age. When you go to a concert, it's $800, $900, sometimes $1,000 to even bring a family to a show. So you're getting like concert level music at a cool venue with your family and support.
Yep.
So.
Are you, Levitating and Soundcheck, obviously you're tied in with those guys, being a musician yourself.
I love those guys. There's so much amazing artistry and music around the South Shore and venues. We're blessed, really. We
are. Art and all, the South Shore is filled with like talented artists, both visually and I don't know what you call it
musically.
Listening thing, but it's great. I mean, I love what the guys at Levitate are doing now. They're pushing more for like visual arts down there too, which is awesome. It's like a cool brand. It's like people are getting exposed to other forms of art.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, all these guys that are musicians, they're not one trick ponies. They're a lot of them are talented visual artists,
Of course,
as well.
Yeah, and I mean, the Hassets have been amazing, and Shane and Michaela at Levitate too, not just for our show, but just in general and what they've done to that space and in the community over the years. You could do a whole show on that. But the Hermans...
Hopefully, we'll get them in here soon.
Yeah, the Hermans as well over at Soundcheck. I mean, they're
I don't know them.
Yeah,
well,
they're amazing. They built up this venue over there in the last 5 years, 6 years to be this rock venue. I mean, they have 500 capacity limits, maybe even more, 550, I think. And they're selling out shows there. They're getting, national touring acts coming through. And I remember way back when I was talking, when they were first opening, and they were just a little music studio that was trying to figure out what they were going to do.
Is that what it was?
It started as a spot for musicians to go, and you rented a monthly room, and your band could go practice. So I think there was like 5 or 6 rooms that started out. Jeff Rosen was one of the original occupants of that space, and they had a little stage, and they threw small shows, open mics. They rented out their rooms, and then they had a vision to take that space and make it bigger. So they did a huge remodel project, blew out a couple walls in the warehouse over in Pembroke, and created a huge music venue.
Yep.
And so when Autism Rocks, myself, Dylan, and Kate, when we approached them, Bonnie Herman, who is you talk to her husband and her brother-in-law, but Bonnie runs the show over there. She was like, "Let's do it." We're all on board, and it's a 21+ venue, so you can't get in there unless you're 21.
Yep.
And so we went through the proper channels, and we had a show during a Sunday afternoon, and we had it open to families, and all families came in. We sold it out, 450 tickets we sold there, and we had 5 bands and three of the acts I talked about that were acts that were on the spectrum.
Yep.
And of course, our good friend Aldous Collins, who's been on your show.
Yep.
He's been right there with us throughout this whole thing, supporting us. And of course, Dylan, doesn't hurt that Dylan O'Neill is Aldous' lead guitarist, who's our co-founder. So
Scotty K, that piece.
Yeah, and then we've also have support from not only just the here we go, we have so all this donated.
So you have a fundraiser coming up.
Yeah, we got a fundraiser coming up. Actually, we have a bunch of stuff happening, but the fundraiser that we have coming up,
or is it?
It's a benefit show. So on the 20th at December 20th at Memorial Hall in Plymouth, there's a Bad Decisions Christmas show, and our friend Megan D'Onofrio, who is one of the singers in the band Bad Decisions, she was her son was just newly diagnosed with autism, and so Meg is a huge friend of Autism Rocks, and they chose us to be the benefactors to their show. Nice. On the 20th at Plymouth Memorial Hall, and we're going to have some raffle items and just ways to raise some money and some awareness. I think the brand awareness is what a lot of the things that we're doing nowadays. So all this generously donated a painting for us, a print for us, and we're going to raffle that off. So it's cool, right?
Yeah, it is.
He's a cool dude.
He is a great guy. I didn't know him. I think I told you earlier. Much. I mean, I knew of him.
Yeah.
But he came in for the podcast because a mutual friend connected us, and I got to know him a little bit in that day, and I've talked to him a bit since. He's a great guy.
He's like that one person in this community that everybody runs to if they need something. Not in a bad way, but
Yep.
like, he knows so many people.
Yep.
And if you're like, hey, Aldous, where can I do this? Where can I get that? He's like, yeah, talk to that person. Or he points you in the right direction.
Yep.
And so, a lot of people need people like that, because he's just a champion of a lot of things, and he donates his time. I mean, I always say, recently I was up at, he invited me up at, he plays at Rote on Wednesdays.
Yep.
And he invites me on stage sometimes to sing with him, and
Yep.
it's funny, but he invites me on stage and to do one song, and I always tell him, I'm like, if anybody if you need anything, you gotta talk to Aldous, because
Yep.
he'll make it happen, or he knows someone that will make it happen, and so he'll push our brand. He loves to help out any charity.
Yep.
So, big shout out to Aldous.
And you're still playing a lot of music yourself, or?
Yeah, man. I think it gets a little. There's a lot. It's funny because in the South Shore, there's so many venues and there's so many people playing music. I personally, I host an open mic at Tinkerson in Norwell every Tuesday night. Been doing that forever. I took that over. So back in the day, my good friend Jackson Weatherby from the Elevators, he used to run the open mic at Tinkerson, and Jackson and I became lifelong friends. I was just at his wedding, and after COVID, his band, the Elevators, were blowing up, and so he said to me, he's like, Scott, he's like, you take this open mic is yours. Yeah. Like, you live a mile down the road. You've been here every Tuesday. He's like, take it over. So every Tuesday I do that. I do that open mic, and then I try to, play here and there. Mm-hmm. I don't consider myself. I don't love playing 3 hours of music like a lot of these people do. Yeah. I'll do it. I can do it. I just sometimes, especially with. Dave, my story. I'm a single dad. Mm-hmm. My wife, who was one of Dave's best friends growing up, mm-hmm. Erica Berkowitz. She passed away from cancer, and it's going to be 4 years in April that she's passed away. And so, I have Hayden, who's 18, and he's a high school senior on the spectrum, who essentially is my job, really. Yeah. He has a lot of needs, and so my job is to make sure has what he needs, he's safe, and that he's supported. And that's really, before Erica passed away, that was her number one thing. She said is for him to be taken care of, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then I have a 17-year-old as well in Norwell. Mm-hmm. She's busy as well. And then
singing with you at all?
Ella sings with me all the time.
On that open mic?
Yeah, Ella's gorgeous. She loves to sing. Yeah. She's an amazing... Ella is like... it's so crazy because the other day she came in my room and I was like, oh my God, you are beautiful. You look just like your mother. And she is becoming like a spitting image of her mother. Yeah. And it's hard though. It's hard for kids that are growing up with a special needs brother or sister, and they feel like they're like the mother or father figure for those kids. Yeah. And so Ella has really taken it upon herself to really support her brother. Yeah. Since Erica's passed, and I think that she has she's grown up in that sense. She's not really, she's a 17-year-old kid. She's a teenager. She's 16, not 16. She's
16 going on
16.
25.
Yeah, it's like crazy, like licenses and all this stuff. Yeah. But she's really had to grow up in her own skin. Yep. And especially having a brother that's on the spectrum with special needs, and then having a mom that she lost. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to find supports that are, that have that uniqueness. Yep. And so she's been doing great, and I give her all the accolades because she's beautiful. She sings with me. She has a great voice. Yep. I
saw her and you playing down at the farmers market.
Oh too. Yeah. Yep. The farmers market, Hanover Farmers Market.
Are you guys playing with them still, or?
Yeah, I'm actually I got a deal going down on Sunday at the Farmers Market from 10 to 1, the new Christmas pop-up.
Yep.
Over here.
Yeah, you played
Hanover.
that. You guys played that last year?
I did, yeah. Jen was there.
Yep.
So I got that going on Sunday, and Ella will be there singing with me. I love doing it. I just give her the money. Any money. Usually, it's either I usually donate the money to something,
Yep.
or I give it to my daughter.
Yep.
A lot of people on the South Shore, this is their living, like
Yep.
going out and gigging and doing music. And so that's another reason why I don't take a ton of gigs, is because this is fun for me.
Yep.
That's a kind of a hobby. But I don't want to take a gig from somebody that, needs to pay their electrical bill.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's sort of my motto, is that I'd rather pick and choose what gigs I take here and there, and then it still gets me out there to play.
Yeah, well, you're getting up on stage with with guys like Aldous. That's that's probably a trip too. And you get to and I think it's awesome that you get to get up and do something you love with your kid. My son and me play hockey Sunday mornings together, and I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with him for too much longer, but I mean those Sunday morning skates are with him in the ride to the rink and stuff is just a blast, and those are things you never get back, but you'll cherish forever.
Yeah, I'm a hockey guy too, so I played hockey my whole life, and I totally agree. I also think too that my the relationship that I had through a sport or through an art with my kids has really brought me closer with them. Like you said, driving to the rink, it's not just about getting to the destination of playing the sport, or it's about the conversations that you have between the time you have them for 20 minutes, the ride to the rink, what you're talking about. You might not talk to them all day, or you might not having meaningful conversations, but while you're in that car ride going to the rink, you might learn something new about them, and so I feel like that same way with both my kids.
A lot of opportunities too to teach. You see them handle something, or they're pissed about something, but you can see them. I think you really get to witness them growing as an individual as you see them, mature and handle things differently.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure the same could be said if she misses a note or a line in a song.
She'll tell me. She'll be like, "Dad, that was off." I'm like, I'm not really judging myself here. I'm having fun, and I think that's half the battle is supporting your kids no matter what they want to do. If it's hockey, if it's music, arts. I feel strongly about supporting whatever direction your child goes in.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her. She's a great singer, and 100%. Every time I see her, I'm like, Jesus, that is it.
Yeah,
that's Erica.
I mean, her mom is,
and she's got a little bit of the same personality too.
Yes. I mean, for those who don't know, Dave, I met Dave in 2001. So my wife Erica, she went to high school with Dave, and they graduated the same year, and was one of Dave's best friends. I would say they did everything. They did a lot together in high school. There was a whole crew, and so I met Dave in 2001. And so we've had this relationship for, this is a long time now. But, just seeing and Erica was a Spitfire. She would tell it like it is. And she actually, as she got, and this is where kind of autism ties back into it, is that, her and I were living, had a child, Hayden. And then 18 months later, he stopped he had delays. He was talking, he was walking fine, and then 18 months later, he just stopped.
Yeah.
And so we had no idea what was going on. So we took him into the doctors, and they were like, well, I think he needs some early intervention. So we put him on. He started doing early intervention at an early age, which was crucial. And then eventually he got diagnosed with autism. And her and I were like, what is this? What is autism? We knew nothing about it back then. And so, our journey really started when he was 18 to get him what he needs. Erica was his biggest advocate, fought for him, in the schools, fought for him for anything that he needed. Erica was right there.
Yeah.
And that's sort of...
She's a good fighter to have in your
Yes, I mean, that, as you know, Dave, she didn't back down from anybody, and her mom's the same way.
Yeah.
And her daughter's the same way now.
Yeah.
So, but I think as the journey keeps on moving forward, Erica, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and she had, her life just kind of took a turn with going to the hospital all the time, being very confused, and so we had to take that head on. So we had a child with autism. We had my wife had a brain tumor.
Yep.
Essentially, it was softball size in her head, and we were trying to figure out our own situation as married couple. And so I think as we moved forward with our lives, we got the brain tumor resected. It was a long journey, chemo, radiation, and then essentially she was in remission for a year. And as she was in remission, she was getting a lot more back into the swing of advocating for Hayden.
Yep.
You have to remember, Hayden's like 12, 13 now at this age, and Ella's 11. And I'm working, doing my thing. I was taking care of her. I had my autistic son, and this life was just crazy. I mean, and I think that's the message really to a lot of people that I also talk about, is that you don't know what's happening behind someone's door, right? You drive by all these beautiful houses on the South Shore and beyond, and you're like, oh, look at that $2 million house. You don't know what's happening behind that door. It could be anything. And so, as our story progresses, she ended up, cancer came back, and it just spread into her entire body. And then she was in hospice for 3 months. And as her and I did, we talked, communicated a lot at the end about the wishes of her children.
Yep.
Because that's really what mattered at that point. And she was like, you need to. She wants 2 things that she wanted was, I was supposed to give Ella her car because she had a new car. She's like, when Ella turns 16, that car goes to her. So that's. We're learning how to drive, Dave. I don't know. You've gone through it, right?
We're learning how to drive too.
We haven't gotten out of a parking lot yet, but we're learning. And then the second
we're
one,
a step ahead. It progresses to driving to school, which is a great one because that'll be the main place that
I'm not even there yet, Dave. Yeah. Let's not get started on that. Mm-hmm. But and then the main focus was Hayden. She was like, you need to take care of him. This is what I want. This is my dying wish.
Yeah.
And so Autism Rocks is a testament to that. We really grew from this idea of raising funds for different organizations that, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an ABA therapist. I don't do physical therapy. I don't do speech therapy. Dylan, who's our co-founder, is a special ed teacher in Whitman-Hanson. And Kate's like an executive producer, and she does a lot of event production. And we know a lot of people in the community that want to help. And so our real mission is based upon Erica's wishes, was to help people that are on the autism spectrum. And in the meantime, I did it for Hayden. He loves music. He loves going to events. He loves being around people.
Yep.
And so if I can shape an event and have him be there with me and all his people, so to speak, then I've done my job. So.
Yep. No, you're doing a great job, and I think the big thing about anything, and I think of what you're trying to do and what we're trying to do here with art, it's like just make people aware of it, because once they know about it, and I think that your podcast idea is a great, I think you definitely should do it. Knowing the stories behind people, or like a painting or an organization, it's important, and it if you scream loud enough, people see what you're doing, and they want to help and they want to get involved. And I know from doing this podcast that was my idea. Like, if people know more about these artists, they're going to be more inclined to buy, one of their
absolutely.
paintings. And if people know more about like what Autism Rocks is, because I remember seeing, I'm like, what is this? And this is, it only helps. So like
Right.
any content you can create, any of this, stuff. I mean, not everybody that sees it it's gonna hit them the first time. Not everyone that watches one of my podcasts is gonna then all of a sudden buy a painting from
Right.
that artist, but they're aware of them, and that helps.
Totally.
It's
And
a step in the right direction.
That's the goal is awareness is number one, is awareness. I think there's so many, this world's kind of crazy, as you know, but in this there's a support group of people that are just, ASD, autism spectrum disorder people. And the ones that I gravitate towards are the moms and dads and brothers and kids of these profound autistic individuals who are nonverbal. They have all sorts of aids that they, the kids that are never going to, they're going to be institutionalized or stay at home. There's that level of person or individual that has that profound autism. Their families are saying they have like a straight shot to heaven. I mean, they're taking care of these kids all day, every day. And they have supports, not a ton, and that's one of the main reasons why we're raising funds, is because to support these programs, right? Like you talked about ASD Fit. ASD Fit was one of our sponsors, and they're amazing. They're just such a great organization, and they do so much for everybody. And so we want to help those types of organizations, and then they help us, right?
Yep.
And so
it's all circular.
It's a circle. It's a big circle. And as I was researching, Autism Rocks and what else is out there in the country for this, there isn't. There's more. This
is a kind of a unique.
Yeah, it's unique in the sense that it's there's shows that are out there that are sensory related, I'd say, but there's also there's also this like roots rock reggae fundraisers, but the benefactors are they're definitely autism related groups, but there's no real sort of tour, I'd say, that takes a concept like Autism Rocks and goes from city to city and says, okay, well, we're going to start in Boston, and then we're going to go to Rhode Island, and then we're going to go, to New York, and then Pennsylvania. That's really a goal of mine is to that's one goal is to bring it on the road. Yeah. And a lot of these festivals don't have sensory spots. Like they don't have a place for kids that might want to go, that might be on the cusp of being able to go, that they can go take a break. Maybe it's air conditioned. Yep. There's headphones in there. There's fidget toys. Is
that an easy thing to set up in a venue, or is it?
I don't think it's that difficult. It's just asking the right questions. I've come to the conclusion that, I'm just going to ask. Yep. All they can do is say no, right?
Yep. You'll learn from Erica.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't ask, you don't know the answer.
Yep.
And so I try to find. I do a lot of research on trying to find people that are influential in this space, that can make decisions, and that's really where I'm at as the president of Autism Rocks, is that I'm trying to grow the brand, also knowing in the background that I'm we're a small support staff of 3 people that are trying to make this dream a reality.
Well, that's how it starts, though, right?
Totally. And the second ultimate goal, and this is the biggest one, is employment, because people that have any disability, really, especially developmental disability like autism, the employment opportunities are few and far between. And these are human beings. They want social relationships. They want to be able to work.
Sense of purpose, right?
Yeah, they want to be able to have the same relationship that you and I are having right now. And they do, believe me. They have their own little communities, and they have their own people, which is amazing to see. But I think employment is big because, everybody wants to be part of something, to earn $1 so they can buy something, right?
Yep.
And so one of the things that we're looking at, this is sort of dream, and if I don't throw it out there into the
talk about
world,
it.
then
That's
it's not
how it
going to happen.
All
But
ideas start somewhere, right? Like,
yeah. So one of the things that we're really looking at is how we can bridge the gap between the festivals and the concessions and
taking tickets, right?
Well, not only that, like concessions as in like food, food or vending.
Yep.
Everybody's been to a festival and there's a food truck, or everybody's been to, there's a, as even in like the community Christmas, the pop up in Hanover, they have, the halebone broth and all the things that people are selling in the middle of that pop up. We really want to look at a product that we can focus on, product one or two, and take it to a festival and sell it. So have the goal is to employ and this is sort of our idea, is really like an ice cream sandwich. Take an ice cream sandwich, for example. Produce that in a safe kitchen somewhere with some autistic individuals, kids on the spectrum, adults on the spectrum. Go through the process of having them package them, make the ice cream sandwich, so to speak, package it, and then have some sort of cart, whether it's an ice cream cart, smaller cart, push cart or something, space at any of these festivals around here. I mean, you get Hanover Days, you get Cohasset, you get Hingham. I mean, in the summertime, there's hundreds of them.
Yep.
And then we take somebody that's on the spectrum and we allow them to be at these festivals with the cart, with the ice cream sandwich.
Yep.
And we say, it's sort of an easy task. They take the ice cream sandwich, they scan a barcode, and then, and then they tell their story, right? And what they've done is they've come full circle. They've actually produced the product in the commercial kitchen, packaged it, and then have put it into a cart, and now they're selling it to the consumer. And it gives them purpose, right? It's kind of like Cardinal Cushion over here. They do a lot of the same thing. But the festival market for something like that I think is where it's at, because it's people are willing to purchase more stuff at festivals than if you were.
Well, it's multi-purpose too, right?
Yeah.
Like you might just want the ice cream sandwich, but like, what is this all about? Especially if you brand it with like the Autism Rocks or some sort of tie-in.
And also too is like you put, if I don't know the last time you've been to a music show like on the South Shore, but what a lot of these people are doing, they have these stanchions and they have a picture of themselves, their name, playing the guitar or whatever. Then they have a barcode, and you scan the barcode, and you can tip them. Yeah. Right. You can be like, oh, I want to tip Jeff Rosen because he just played a great song, or I want him to play a song. So they take out their phone, they scan it, it goes to a Venmo or something. Yep. And what they do is we have these people that are on a spectrum, your servers, so to speak. Yep. We make those signs, and they're buying their ice cream sandwich, and then someone scans the barcode, and it pops open their page, and it shows, Dave Petty or Hayden Kauffman. He's a human being. He's this age, and this is what his, a couple quotes from him. And did he give you good service today? Do you want to give him a tip? Yep. And they can earn tips that way. Yep. So it's all about. I mean, at the end of the day, employment is really big for me, especially because my kid is 18. He's gonna be 18 soon. Yep. We have a lot of stuff to talk about once he leaves high school. Yep. So it changes over time, because if you have younger kids, then you're focusing on that stuff. But once they get older, that's when it all gets a little bit muddy. Yeah.
Well, I think I told you, like, I'm proud of everything you're doing. I think it's awesome. Whatever you need.
Yeah,
I'm
I
here
appreciate it.
I'm happy to support you. If we get more prints from Aldous, I'm happy to throw a frame on them. whatever. Any thoughts or any ideas you need from me, you just tell me what you're doing, and I'm.
Well, I'm happy that you're also jumping into the 501c3 foundation as well, because you're a huge supporter of. I know that when you frame something, it comes out of your pocket, and it's a donation, and I know that you got 75 organizations coming at you being like, I want to frame, and so by by setting up a nonprofit yourself, it's putting you in the right frame of mind.
I think I've been motivated by these guys, seeing them give the 1% and all the stuff that they're doing that's great in the community. Like, that I told them I'm inspired, and I want to So our foundation, I just got my paperwork yesterday.
No way.
So, yeah,
we got time.
I think I'll write my last. I think I'll write my first check before the end of the year, and hopefully it'll grow. I mean, I want to. These guys are levitated. Kind of. Hopefully, will lead by example, and I'll be able to figure those things out, and
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you, it's a very. It's the concept of. I mean, you own your own business. You understand what it takes to run the frame center, and what it takes to have inventory on hand and deal with people and billing and all that. It's the same concept because I run my own business too. But when you're running a nonprofit, sometimes you feel like you want to go, and I think sometimes we take a step. I take a step back now, and I'm like, all right, what's really important? If I don't make this one post today at 10 o'clock at night, does that really matter? No. But knowing that there's people around you that have your full support, that just makes – you're not in competition. Like sometimes we compete with each other, but I think with these types of things, these foundations
no, they're not in competition.
People want to help.
Yeah. They all want to help, and, they all have the end cause, is to, bring awareness and, help people.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's some people that are involved in, 501c3s that are, on the cusp of, but whatever. I think I know the vision for what I want to do, and I think that that's the right step. And, I'm thrilled to see you, and you're a couple steps ahead of me, so I'll be calling you for advice.
Not really. I think I'm a couple steps, like a few months.
Yeah, that's enough.
We're in this together, and we're, like I said, we're also looking to expand. I mean, we have some shows happening down.
Where can people find out about this?
Yeah,
stuff? So you have a website?
Yeah, if you go to www.autismrocksus, like us.org, you can find us there. We're on Autism Rocks MA, the socials, Instagram and Facebook. We have a lot of content, really cool videos. You can see all the recaps from our shows, all of our pictures. We have so much, and that's the other thing too, is that we document the day. We document a lot, and it's the pictures and the images are just amazing, and the community. A lot of people that probably come through this space have donated their time with photography and.
I think that's probably another way we can help you too. So when you start capturing some of those images, especially if they're with the kids or something like that, or the maybe we start sending out some free frames to to some of these individuals.
It goes a long way, man. It does. It goes a long way. People are all in. They want to feel a good cause that is close to them, music related and affordable. And we're not going to solve world hunger in a day, but we're also trying our best to show people that these individuals with autism spectrum disorder are human, and they deserve what everybody else deserves. Yeah. And going to a show is how much better can you be by being there with your family and friends in a setting that you can tolerate. And spending time with your people.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate you coming down, giving us the rundown of what you're doing. Hope you learned a little bit about podcasts. Yeah, I mean,
I did. We covered a lot. We covered a lot there, but appreciate the time, Dave.
Awesome. Well, autismrocksus.org, and check out the socials. Check out you singing on Tuesday nights.
Come on down. It's open. Hey, it's open mic, so. Bring your instrument.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Dave.